Everybody loves a great corporate success story because the really good ones are hard to come by. Well, listen up, because this is one of those started around the kitchen table company success stories that in less than a decade involves more than 100 people who work for a company with offices that now span 3 continents and whose list of clients include many of the biggest and most familiar corporate names in the world. It is a company that in the midst of a very painful recession is turning out to be one of the most successful business stories of our time, and they're still in their infancy. The company is called PICs, P-I-C-S. They're headquartered here in Irvine, California. And what they do is to help make sure that smaller companies that provide a service, we'll call them contractors, meet all of the requirements and standards to provide that service for the big major industries like pharmaceutical, oil and gas, tire and rubber, aerospace, in fact, virtually any industry you can think of. And what's really amazing is that this is a business that didn't even exist 10 years ago. Today, its impact is being felt worldwide. And the man who thought it all up around that kitchen table is PIC's president and CEO, John Moore.
We pre-qualify contractors for large multinational organizations. What that means is that we handle the entire process of vetting contractors that work for companies like Shell, BP, BASF. So all the contractors that they use, they need to be qualified before they can actually come work for them.
We qualify any company that sends employees on property for our clients. If they send a delivery person, if they send service workers to come service some equipment that they sold, GE will sell them a turbine, and then GE has special technicians that are going to come on site and work on that turbine if something goes wrong.
So we have a lot of people that are here on the phones talking to the contractors on a daily basis that are trying to qualify for our clients. And we really spend a lot of time with them. The coin phrase that we have is we're the contractor's choice. And we are that because we take the time and spend that extra time with them and helping them qualify. Our process isn't created to eliminate contractors from working for our clients. Our process is to how can we improve the safety culture that this organization has before they go work for our clients. Things that we can identify and help them with.
When people think about PICs, they imagine a picture in their mind. Quite often they actually picture the website, not necessarily the people. And that's an important thing for me as Vice President of Technology, to make sure that that product, the website, is working quickly, it's defect-free, and it really empowers the user to do what they need to do. Our clients, the owner-operators, like Shell, BP, Motorola, they have a lot of companies that work for them and come in and provide various services, products, and by having this website, they can quickly and easily go in and find an exact list of the contractors and vendors that are working for them, providing them products and services in a nice, easy-to-use format.
When you come right down to it, what is the big advantage for your clients to have you perform this service for them?
When you're dealing with under 100 contractors, it's pretty manageable for our clients to do themselves. Anything over that, and our clients generally have thousands of contractors and material suppliers that do work for them. So it gets to the point where it's not manageable for them to be able to handle that process. So we're taking everything that they would normally use several different groups within their organization to qualify a contractor. We're not only able to qualify all of them, but we're able to do it at a higher level. We handle everything from making sure that the contractors have proper insurance, to their safety programs and training the employees that they have working for them to make sure that they're actually trained and qualified to be working on properties of our clients.
We're very fortunate to have a blue ribbon list of companies that we work for. Fortune 1000 companies like Shell Oil Products, largest oil company in the world, doing business in Africa and Middle East and Russia. We work for L'Oreal, French makeup company, have manufacturing facilities all over. We work for Suncor Energy, we work for Goodyear Tire, TXI, Aggregate Industries, Wholesome, Motorola, Boise, American Water, PSC, the list goes on and on.
We, of course, have industry best practices, such as flag and non-fatalities, which are industry standards. But each client has the ability to select their own criteria. When people think of websites, they think of these brochures that you can look at and are nice and pretty. But this is a web application. It's a powerful tool used by enterprises around the world to manage information about their contractor base. It's a web application that sits on a desktop that they can access it from any computer, an iPad, any other internet-enabled device.
It's very thorough. In fact, that's one of the things we pride ourselves on is having the expertise to be able to do that. We're not just a software company. What's important is that there's some service behind the data, that there's people that are actually experts, that are actually going through the data and doing something with it and making sure that these people are actually meeting the requirements that our clients expect.
And what is the real bottom line benefit to the contractor?
The contractors have a huge benefit. When I was a contractor having to go through this, I had a full-time assistant, and the two of us were qualifying just to go work for all the different companies that we worked for. It would take us hours and hours and hours to do this. Now they could literally have a single event that would help them qualify for 10, 20, 50, 100 different companies. So there's a lot of time and effort that's put forth on their part in being able to qualify, and it saved them a lot of time.
And Jared, what do you think is the real key behind the success of this company, which is really very amazing?
Successful companies happen because of really good execution and really good timing. And execution usually happens because the right people are in place. We have a good, strong team. But it's also the right time. There was a need in the marketplace, we reacted well, and here we are today. In particular, without the internet, this couldn't have happened.
This company here has submitted a pre-qualification form. The user at any time can click on this and search through and review all of the information about that company. Their history, insurance, financial history. One of the key things that we wanted to solve from a technology perspective was to make sure that the application was fast, user-friendly, and provided the information that they needed to.
What do you think is the reason that PICs has been able to expand so rapidly?
Our name, I think, is finally getting out there where people are talking about us without the need to directly call them. There are trade shows that people are talking about us and we don't even know. Most of our customers are global companies. That's the trend for the last 10 years. Everyone's going global. And there are contractors that they're hiring all over the world. Contractors that are hiring in Europe, in Africa, in the Middle East, in Asia, and Canada and the US. The US still is a huge market. And because this trend of outsourcing won't go away, companies are outsourcing more and more and more and more. The need for our service keeps on growing and growing and growing.
And there you are, the amazing success story of PICs, a company that makes it much easier for contractors to qualify for work with the big multinational giants. In effect, it's a win-win for both. I'm Doug Llewellyn reporting from Irvine, California.